So did you go through the FLETC in Georgia?
Yep, Glynco, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yep.
How was that?
Fucking shit show, bro.
Yeah. This is what, 6 months?
I think it's 6 months,
Yeah.
5.5, 6 months, something about that.
Like, keeping it on the positive note, like, what was one thing that you learned there?
So no, I'll tell you. So the when you get hired by the US Marshals, you go to 2 different programs down there at Glynco. One's called CITP. It's the Criminal Investigator Training Program that most federal agencies send their guys through. I think it's DEA and FBI run their own CITP. Everybody else, and there's a lot of federal agencies that people have never heard of too.
Yeah.
Their guys go through CITP at Glynco. Once you graduate that, then you go into the specific US Marshals follow-on academy. And
so that's how most of it is, right? There's kind of the basic and then whatever.
Yep, and then each specific agency has their own follow-on. And to tell you the truth, the US Marshals mission is cool, and parts of it are cool, I should say. And I worked for a lot of good people, and a lot of the cadre were cool guys. There was a lot of the agency that I really liked, but the thing that kept just plaguing the agency as a whole is there's no enforcement of standards. And coming from special operations, like how many runs can you fall out of in a SEAL team before we have a problem now?
One. The first one, we're going to have a fucking problem.
And so, man, I got down there, and we did our initial PT tests. And a big percentage of the people failed the PT test.
Wow.
And I was like, instantly, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, this is a PT test that you should be able to do drunk, you know?
Yeah. In fact, from now on.
And everybody that failed the PT test, everybody that fell out of the runs, they got the title of deputy at the same time as I did.
Wow.
And I remember thinking, like, man, this is very different than what I'm used to.
Yeah.
And, you know, most agencies are filled with good people, but it only takes like a couple flaws in leadership at the people at the top to make the whole thing start to fucking operate in a flawed manner. And that was my experience with the US Marshals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Going just a couple steps back, you mentioned there's a lot of agencies that nobody knows of. Is there one you can mention that most people don't know exists?
No. It's nothing cool.
Well, even lame.
Like the Forest Service has criminal investigators.
Yeah.
The post office has criminal investigators.
Yeah. So they all go through.
They all go through that. Yeah.
Are you lumped in all together in the CITP?
Sometimes they are. It kind of depends on how the hiring process is working. When I went through, the U.S. Marshals had a big enough hiring program to where everybody in our CITP was a marshal.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you know about how many marshals there are that are active at any given time? Ballpark?
I think only like 2,000 or something.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it's not a big agency.
Yeah.
I might be wrong about that, but I know it's fairly small.
Yeah, that's what she said. Is there a main mission statement for the U.S.?
Yes, and this is the mission statement that most people are unaware of. It's producing prisoners for court.
Really?
That's it.
Like a high level, like
No.
El Chapo.
Well, that's the thing. When people think of federal inmates, they think of like shot callers and
El Chapo.
all this stuff. It's not really the case. That's a misconception. The only difference between a federal inmate and a local or state inmate is they were charged under a different jurisdiction.
Oh, okay.
So there's literally, as a U.S. Marshal, and this is embarrassing to say, but I've sent out citations to people for illegal campfires.
That's awesome.
Because it's in a federal area, and it's protected federally. And if they get cited by the Forest Service for an illegal campfire, that's a federal crime.
Wow.
And if they don't show up for court, guess what? Now they have a warrant. So they have a federal misdemeanor warrant for an illegal campfire that comes to my desk as a U.S. Marshal.
I can just imagine that conversation with the cellmate. So what are you in for? Man, I started a fucking campfire where I wasn't supposed to. What?
So the truth is the federal misdemeanors, you would try and close those cases all without making arrests. We had the ability to be like, literally call them up and be like, hey bro, and this is what I tell people, like, I'm sure that you don't even fucking remember the getting cited for a campfire from the Forest Service 2 years ago, but because you never paid the fee, Now it's turned, the machine just keeps churning. It's like a fucking snowball. And now you have a warrant out for your arrest. Like, what the fuck? Are you serious?
Yeah. They're like, this is a scam.
Yeah. But so every single federal agency, DEA, FBI, ATF, all of their arrests, it doesn't matter what their casework is, every single federal inmate gets remanded to the US Marshal Service. Our agency is who's responsible for every federal inmate.
Okay.
So you get arrested and you get arraigned. That's your initial appearance before a judge. And that's when they say, yeah, I'm not setting bail and you're going to be remanded to the custody of the US Marshals. Now we own that guy. Every single court proceeding moving forward, we have to go to the jail. We have to get that inmate. We have to search him. We have to chain him up in what they call a 3-piece suit with the chains around the waist, handcuffs, and leg irons, and walk them to their court hearing. And then it doesn't matter if sometimes it's just a plea deal, sometimes it's a trial, sometimes it's a sentencing hearing. And bro, we would have 100 inmates a day.
Did you ever have any guys fight you or try squirrel?
Never.
Never?
Nope. As a deputy. And here's the thing, and I was in Los Angeles too. So as far as federally, that's considered the Central District of California. Almost all of our inmates were related to RICO and conspiracy charges going after gangs.
Yeah.
So all the kids that were in there were like 18 to 25-year-old gangbangers, tattoos on their face, and they understand how the game is played. And it actually is played in a manner where them doing time is actually almost mandatory for them to progress through the ranks of their gang.
That's wild.
It's crazy. And so they knew how the game was played. And contrary to popular belief, like the gang members that I dealt with, a lot of them are pretty sharp people.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of criminals are.
Yeah.
You know, of course, there's a percentage that's probably not insignificant, you know, that are fucking morons. But
of course.
You know, but the better the criminal, the smarter they are. And you know, I've said this I don't know how many fucking times. Like if a lot of these criminals that are brilliant and talented, if they would just put that towards something productive, like they'd be massively successful. Like some of them are fucking brilliant.
So I actually just told the story on my podcast. A lot of times you'll get assigned an inmate for the duration of a trial or the duration of, in the case of an inmate that I was assigned he was having shoulder issues and he needed to go to the hospital. And so now it's my responsibility as a deputy to take him and schedule his medical appointments. Again, not cool shit, right? Yeah. It's like I'm sitting in
babysitting.
Yeah, I'm babysitting a guy while he's getting an MRI, right? But he was in solitary confinement because he was a Mexican mafia shot caller. The Mexican mafia is a prison gang. So they operate inside of prisons. And because he's a shot caller, they keep him in isolation, trying to keep him out of having any control over anything.
How old was he?
I bet he was 35. Not super old. Yeah. And so we're on the way to his appointment and he goes, "Hey deputy, I've been in solitary confinement for 24 months. He goes, I haven't seen the fucking sun in 24 months. He goes, if it's cool with you, when we step out of the car, before we walk through the doors of the hospital, could I get just 10 seconds of just looking up at the sun?" And you know, some deputies would be like, "That's a ploy to try, well, we're going to get attacked." Absolutely not, you know? But I try and always say I operate in the realm of probability, not the realm of possibility. And the thing is, if you're cool to these guys, that actually makes my life a lot easier too. Mm-hmm. And I said, "Yeah, man, I don't have an issue with that." And I let him stand there for like 2 minutes. And from that moment forward, it was like a friendship was forged.
Wow. Did you bullshit with him?
All the time, man.
Oh, shit.
And I remember I told the guy, I was like, "Man, you went left where I went right at some point in life.
Yeah.
But if we'd taken different paths, I have no doubt that we could be homies, dude."
Yeah. Or in polar opposite spots.
Yeah, right? Yeah. And
that's a trip.
I used to tell some of the deputies, I'm like, in the federal system, they call the inmates mopes. I was like, I get along with the mopes better than most of you motherfuckers.
What is there something you can share in your bullshitting sessions with him that stands out as being the most fascinating that was surprising?
Bro, like one thing that this guy told me all about was like the benefits of Kangen water.
Kangen water.
Drinking Kangen water is a filter that somehow changes the molecular structure and creates a higher pH content. And it's funny because I've just started drinking Kangen water again recently.
So it's a filter you buy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it changes the alkalinity to 9.5. And some people say it's all bullshit, and other people say drinking a higher alkaline water is good for you. I tend to believe that it is, just based on how I feel. And maybe it's a placebo, so you don't need to send me emails saying, that's fucking bullshit.
They still will.
They still will. But yeah, he told me all about this.
Yeah.
And it's like, and he was a huge Megadeth fan.
Really?
He used to sing Megadeth in the back of the car. I'd put Megadeth on for him.
What a fucking
And it's
trip.
like, he was this fucking Hispanic Mexican mafia shot caller that liked
Loves
Megadeth,
Megadeth.
you know?
Dude, what a trip,
and I grew
man.
up a metalhead too, you
Yeah.
know? So it's just little shit like that, man.
Quick derail, best metal concert you've ever been to?
Hands down, Pantera, White Zombie.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, they toured together.
I went to that
and
same concert.
I think it was 99. I think it was right before I left for the military.
Yeah.
And it was in the Gorge, which is a big outdoor amphitheater in Washington State.
Yeah.
Fucking wild night,
Yeah.
man.
Dude, Pantera Live, I saw him a few times, and yeah, it's fucking incredible.
Dude, I saw Damage Plan on their last tour.
Really?
And that was, you know, the guitar player and the drummer for Pantera. You know what's actually crazy is if I have time tonight, I want to stop. I want to see Dimebag Darrell's grave
Oh, no shit.
because it's 19 minutes outside of Dallas
Yeah.
Airport.
Yeah. Do you play guitar?
I played guitar for a long time growing up. Was in like a little metal band through high school,
man.
you know?
Yeah.
And I've gotten away from playing. It's actually something that it's always in the back of my mind,
Yeah.
you know, but only so many hours in the day.
I'll tell you who else puts on an equally good show to Pantera, or did. I don't know. I think they'd still put on a good show. They're starting a tour right now as Avenged Sevenfold.
Oh, okay.
Dude, I've seen them live a number of times, and they're every bit as good as Pantera live. Like
That's
they're
awesome.
better live than they are in studio.
Yeah.
Just the energy's fucking intense. But
I mean, that was my thing as a kid, metal shows,
Yeah.
and I seen them all. The only band that I ever really got into that I haven't seen live yet is Lamb of God.
yeah.
And they put on a wild show too.
Yeah, they're I wouldn't say bordering on too heavy, but they're pushing the envelope for sure.
I'll send you some shit.
It'll make you throw up.
Yeah.
All right, so back to being the Marshal stuff. So there was that guy in particular. What are some other mission sets or responsibilities that Marshals have that people wouldn't know about? Or
Dude, like a big thing that you don't think of Marshals doing like day-to-day police work, right? But sometimes you do similar day-to-day police work, but it's all a jurisdiction that's held federally. So like you'll serve process, like go knock on people's doors and serve them with a court order or whatever. Or we would do federal evictions. You know, if someone won't leave the house that for whatever reason has a federal housing authority, we can go evict people.
Yeah.
We would do asset forfeiture, where it's like, hey, people haven't paid their loan and it's a federally banked or backed loan. They can use the Marshals to go seize and basically what's the word I'm looking at? Repossess stuff.
Oh, shit.
Dude, I repossessed a fucking yacht.
really?
Yeah. And so a funny story. And that's the thing. There are that was a fun day. That was a cool story. And I think if the Marshal Service ran a little differently, it could be a cool career. But for me, the bullshit outweighed the fun stuff.
Yeah.
But like we got notified and someone had defaulted on a loan on a yacht, and I forget all the details, but they were basically on the run and they were going to try and get out into international waters with this yacht. And then they no one has authority to repossess the vessel. And so we got a call and said, hey, this yacht is going south. It's off the coast of California and they're trying to get out into international waters. So we called the Coast Guard and said, hey, can we intersect this yacht? And they looked at like where it was going and where it was at. And they said, yeah, absolutely. I think they call them cutters, one of the little Coast Guard boats.
Yeah.
And said, yeah, we can run you guys out there. And so we fucking went out there and fucking seized a yacht.
Yeah.
And it was funny too, because this super rich guy had a crew that ran his yacht, and they didn't know what was happening behind the scenes. And the captain goes, yeah, this was weird. Like the owner just basically called us and said, get the yacht and take it here right now. He goes, I knew something was up because I've been this guy's captain for years. And so he calls the guy and he goes, hey, the US Marshals are on your boat. They say they're repossessing it. And he goes, refuse to give up the boat and keep driving it where I told you to drive it. And we could hear him. He's on speaker, right? I said, yeah, that's going to end with you in federal custody too. Trust me, bro. Like, and he goes, yeah, I ain't doing that shit. Yeah. And so, yeah, we took that boat back and then I don't remember how it played out, but whoever was the loan holder or whatever, who actually owned the boat, said, hey, thanks for getting that boat. If your kids want to come and play on it sometime, like,
oh shit,
feel free. I said, bro, I got a bunch of little kids that would love to run around on a yacht.
Yeah.
So if you're being serious, I'm gonna take you up on that. If you're not, it's all good. Yeah. He goes, no, I'm serious. And I drove my kids up that weekend,
way.
And they ran around that yacht for a few hours just while it was docked in the harbor. But to a kid sitting in the captain's chair, it was cool.